Good thing this is dry. Oh my God. Whew.
Cutthroat trout in all the land, some of the most inhospitable land in all the world.
All right, so it is cold this morning. I'm going to Carnarvon Lake in Kananaskis, right at the very bottom of Highway 40 here in Alberta. I've been there before one time. When we got up there, I've never experienced winds that powerful in all my life. We actually tried fishing. It was almost impossible to throw a heavy hook more than 5 feet against the wind up there. And no one was catching fish, so we ended up heading back. And the problem with any of these high alpine lakes above the trees, or the higher you go in altitude, means that you're going to be getting into fish that don't have as much food. You have to remember that a lot of these alpine lakes, the ice is only off these things for maybe 2 or 3 months, and it's frozen for the rest of the year. So when they're eating, they're going to be eating a lot, but they have a very, very short window. And for the food supply, who knows what's under that ice? I can imagine it's probably scarce like everything else is in high altitude parts of the mountains. If we want big fish, we go to Saskatchewan or northern Manitoba or something like that. We'll get ourselves 25-pound pike and 30-pound lake trout, and we will on these adventures. We will certainly indeed. All right, time to get some food, and hopefully we get there in about an hour and a half. So here we're just finishing our loadout. In my backpack, I'm gonna have a first aid kit. I'm going to have my food for the day. I brought a bunch of nuts, a bunch of beef jerky. Probably plan on having a big dinner tonight. This is supposed to be a 12-kilometer hike, so this is pretty big. So I had a massive breakfast before coming out here. Got my boots. You'll notice on my pack here that I have an extra set of shoes. There's a stream in here behind us. We're gonna have to cross this later on. So I'm bringing something that will be light to carry, that'll dry out fast, and that will allow me to do a quick change. I don't want to be walking through with my boots, because as soon as you start hiking long distances with wet feet, that means blister city. You don't want to be stuck out there in the middle of nowhere with massive blisters and feet that you can't use. I've got a packable down jacket. I've got my fishing gear. Fishing gear is actually a lot heavier than I would normally take out on a pack trip, but I'm only going for the day, so I bring a lot more stuff. If I'm going overnight, I'll probably pack a lot lighter with only the bare essentials. I've got a fly rod, and I've got my spinning rod, and I bring a longer spinning rod probably 6.5 feet instead of 5.5 feet, just so I can cast farther into the lake. I don't have to worry about walking around in bush with the fishing rod. So I've got safety stuff, gauze in case I roll an ankle, brought a little towel, be bringing my GPS just so I know I'm on the right track. It is cold out here. It's only about 3 degrees Celsius, which is about 37, 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And I know damn well, once I get to the top of the mountain up there, everything can change. All bets are off. So I'm bringing some pants in case it rains and in case it's really, really cold up there. Who knows, with the way today's going, it might be below freezing. And there we can see the head wall to Carnarvon Lake over here. And then if we go over there, that's Lake of the Horns. It's amazing how fast you warm up when you're just walking uphill. No, not cold anymore. Doesn't matter how many times I come out here. The absolute beauty of this place just blows me away. So here we are. We got to cross this. This is probably going to be the worst part of the whole trip, with this mountain fresh, ice cold, glacier fed water that we got to walk through basically with our bare feet, and then warm up the rest of the way and then cross it on the way back home. All right, so let's find something a little bit upstream. I think that might be a little more shallow that we can cross. There we go. Up there looks good. Oh man. There we go. Oh. Oh. Now I'm awake. Oh man. Oh. Oh my God. Oh man. I think my legs are going in a deep freeze. I can't feel them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and find a little hiding spot for these shoes, because I don't want to swing it around on my backpack, getting my backpack wet, giving me that extra bit of weight. I know I'm coming back here tonight, so. All right, so let's put my shoes maybe in one of these trees here. The positive side of this whole thing is that these things are only about $7 at Costco, so I'll go get some more just in case. I am going to mark this on my map. Okay, so for instances such as these, I always bring a little tiny towel along whenever I go fishing, especially when it's cold. But in this case, I get to dry off my feet extra fast if the sun's not doing it. I don't want wet feet at all when we're hiking. So this will speed up the process, because I want to go fishing. I don't want to be just sitting on the side of the bank of the stream and wasting my time. So my feet are nice and dry. Time to put these boots back on. Start cruising. Must not get wet feet. Oh, that's a slippery log. Oh. Well, that didn't work. Well, that's a grave mistake, is not bringing my shoes at least this far. Had to take my boots right off because there's nowhere to cross. Maybe we can find something over here. we can cross over. It looked like, oh yeah, and there it is. There's the trees. These paths, they double as a stream sometimes. There's the path of least resistance for water to come down when it's draining. It goes on all year long. In the spring it gets really bad. This is probably why I wouldn't take my bike down this one, because this is pretty much unbikeable. To me anyways. I'm not a pro biker though. And I remember one other time I was here, there's a lot of this kind of terrain. So you're not going to be able to cut off as much on your trip from using your bike on this one as say other ones. I never used to hike just for hiking's sake. There always has to be fish at the end, but man, this has kind of changed my opinion on it. All right, now we can see our faint outline of where we go up to the head wall, and that's where we have to go over and climb up with some nice rusty chains. Woo! This is the part where I have to start scaling up, and it's time to put my poles away so I can have both hands to grab. And I've got my rain jacket on because it's misty, lots of water coming down even though it's not raining or anything. And I'm looking up at this up here, and I know that it's going to be so windy up there. It's going to be nasty. All right, there's the first chain right up here. Next chain. Where are you? Oh. There it is. There we go. All right. Good thing this is dry. Oh my God. Whew. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but grip is probably one of the most important things you can work on. Forearm. If you don't have that, if you don't have a good grip here, can't lift your body weight, I would call it, I would abort the mission. Because this is your life. Almost there. Everyone. Chains, baby. If this isn't majesty, I don't know what is. It's pure, pure beautiful. It just inspires my heart. With all that's bad and wrong in the world, this just fills it right up. I could be out here forever. Unless, of course, it's raining, snowing, freezing, windy or any of that. You can see a steep drop off right away. Hey, we're leaving near the shore, I hope. I brought some Castmasters and Deadly Dicks though, just in case. I think right over here on that grassy part, looks like it joins up with some marl and goes as a drop off where they might be cruising around. No life. Where are you guys? Come on. There was one following. Big. Okay. Alright. I think we're in the game now. There we go, my first Carnivon. First Carnivon Cutthroat, and I had to work hard for that little guy. Not so little, it's bigger than your normal mountain Cutthroat. But we will take that and we will put it back. Not like it's getting too hot out here. Nice. We're in. We're in the game, baby! Okay. So my hand is literally freezing just from touching that fish. And it's starting to snow out here, and it is, what is it, July 13th, 12th? I don't even know what day it is anymore. Alright, nice cast. Now I'm going to let this sink a little bit so it gets a little bit deeper, and now I start bringing this in. Let it die. Death roll, bring it in fast. Death roll. All kinds of screwed up presentation. Maybe they'll take something there. But it's starting to snow. That's nice. So this was on. This hook is called Castmaster. Silver. And there's why, because they just go. They go and go and go. And then I use 4-pound test, especially for these small, these little lakes. There's nothing bigger than 4 pounds up here. And it allows me to cast even further. If If I get snagged though, that might be the end of my hook. So there's a compromise to everything. Oh, I had one. It's my lake. Mine. Okay, so I'm seeing them jump a little bit, really close to shore here, right on the edge of that emerald green and the marl break point. Let's see, so it took me about 4 hours to hike up here, which means I only got a couple hours to fish. But I'm in no rush. I love fishing. I just got to make sure I'm not home by 2 at night, so no one's calling the emergency services to come get me. That sun feels good. There we go. Ah! All right, now I have to learn how to catch fish here. Oh my God. They're whacking it and I can't set the hook. Okay. I just had that thing follow right up to the shore. Okay. I just had a bite there. Oh, they're picky in here today. Little nibbles, little bites. Amazing water. This water is so clear. The fact that I can see one of these things from 40, 50 feet away. And that water is probably 7 or 8 feet deep at that point. There we go. Tiny little guy, but that ends my drought. There we go. Oh yeah, baby. That's got some size. Nice flash under the water in this beautiful emerald water. Fish. Oh, well, it's not a giant, but it's nice for up here. Oh man, That was a big shadow. Okay, looks like I've been fishing in the wrong part of the lake. Got a couple whacks over here. Maybe the water's more oxygenated from all this wave action. There's one. Oh. Watch these casts here with this thing. Last time I was in a wind like this, I got one in my elbow. And that's not fun to remove. When I was a little kid, I had to have a fly removed out of my scalp. I'm going to say with much authority that I'm probably not as equipped to be up here as I probably should be in terms of being warm. I bet you it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 3 degrees. But I just can't go. This lake would be so perfect if it wasn't so damn windy. So here we are, we're at the chains, and there's my big long path down. Oh boy, here, let's get on it. Yes, I am in the middle of, I don't know what this is, sleet. It's a mixture between rain and hail and snow. Yeah, and I just can't wait to get back down to the tree line here. All right, so yesterday I completely ran out of batteries. I couldn't even do a final overview of my hike yesterday. But I'll tell you, today feels like, and this isn't a word of a lie, I feel like I've been run over by a steamroller. Just some of the stats from yesterday. I put on, according to my GPS, I put on 26 kilometers of total hiking. I burned almost 7,500 calories. I climbed 339 flights of stairs, according to my Fitbit. Yeah, unbelievable exertion. So it feels like I've been through a full body workout and more. It's been taking me a while to get kind of moving this morning. So generally speaking though, the hike was awesome. I had a great time yesterday. I would say if I was to rate that hike, it's not overly strenuous in terms of how technical it is, other than the chains at the head wall. What my concern would be for beginners would be the amount of endurance that's required there and having a good set of boots. All this working out and training really pays off in the long run, and having things properly set up and the proper equipment. So the hike itself, a little bit muddy in stretches, not too steep generally speaking, other than the head wall. The chains, I don't recommend people to go on this hike unless they've got a good grip strength and they're in good shape and they're definitely not afraid of heights. There's times there when it got a little bit sketchy climbing up there, especially coming down where you have to go backwards. Then your grip strength has to be really good and you have to have a calm state of mind. The lake itself, super windy at times up there. It was like almost being in a wind vortex up in a bowl. You never knew what direction the wind was coming. It was just swirling around. Almost impossible to fly fish. So I used heavier hooks. The only thing I could manage to get anything on was probably a silver deadly dick, a smaller size. And near the end of the day, I was starting to pick up more fish on the windy side of the lake. I had a great day, and I really thank you for joining me. and I look forward to going on our next one in a couple days after I recover. So take care.